Hello class. Today we are doing Red P1.4. Okay? I will be doing even numbers. We're learning to multiply integers. Okay? We understand that when we have the same sign, it is a positive thing. Whether it's positive times positive equals positive. Negative times negative equals positive. But we discovered that if the signs are different, negative times positive, that equals a negative. A positive times a negative will equal a negative. Okay, this occurs when we multiply fractions. Okay, so now let's take a look at number 2. Here we notice that 7 times 7. The first 7 is positive, the second 7 is negative. Therefore, the signs are different, so our answer will be negative. 7 times 7 is 49. Excuse me. Next, on number 4, we note that we have negative 5 times negative 6. The signs are the same, therefore the answer will be positive. So that 5 times 6 is 30, positive 30, and negative 5 times a negative 6. Here on number 6, we note that we have a negative times a negative times a negative. Well, let's take a look. Let's start with the first two. Negative 10 times negative 3 is going to give us a positive 30. Times a negative 7, a positive 30 times a negative 7 will give us a negative 210. Okay, let's take a look here. A negative times a positive is going to give us a negative answer. So negative 4 times negative 8 is going to be a negative 32. Now times the positive 3, so negative 32 times the positive 3, and we're going to get an answer of negative 96. Okay, let's move forward to number 10. On number 10, we're asked to evaluate the expression. In other words, we're going to solve for the answer. Okay, so now let's take a look. Here we have negative 11 raised to the second power. Therefore, that ultimately means negative 11. Okay. In this case, because the parentheses are not around the negative 11, okay, I made an error here. We're going to scratch that out and try it again. The negative is not attached to the 11 because it's not embraced in parentheses, okay? So therefore, it's going to be negative, and it's going to be 11 times 11 because we have 2, the base multiplied by itself twice, 11 times 11, and therefore 11 times 11 is going to be 121, but because of the negative, it will be negative, okay? All right, here on number 12, we have a negative 2, but notice the parentheses that lets us know that the negative is attached to the 2. So that's negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Okay, that's what that means. All right, and then therefore, then that's times negative 6. Okay, so let's take a look at this. All right. We know that 2 times 2 is 4. That will give us a positive 4. Times a negative 2 is going to give us a negative 8. So that negative 8 times a negative 6. And remember the parentheses, so the negative goes with it. And therefore the negative 8 times the negative 6 is going to give us a positive 48. Okay? Now let's take a look at number 14. On number 14, it says a glacier is melting at a rate of 36 cubic miles each year. Okay? what integer represents the number in the glacier's volume over 4 years? All right, so let's take a look. A glacier is melting at a rate of 36 cubic miles each year. Now that 36, and we're speaking of a glacier. If a glacier is melting, is a glacier getting bigger, growing, or is it decreasing? Is it moving in a positive direction or a negative direction? Well, we think of a cube of ice, and when we pull it out of our ice tray, and as it melts away to zero, to nothing. So therefore, when we say that the ice, a glacier is melting, then we know it is decreasing. So it's decreasing 36 miles each year. And so since it is decreasing each year, year 1 is negative 36, year 2 is negative 36 times 2, year 3, and so on and so forth, okay? So then if that be the case, then what integer represents the change in the glacier volume over 4 years? Well, if year 1 gives us negative 36, year 2 is negative 36 2 times, which is actually 72, okay? And then year 3 be 3 times, okay? Year 4 would be 4 times. So therefore, what we would do is we would take, this would be 4 times, and 3 times for third year, because it's the first year, the second year, the third year. First year, second year, this is the first year. So for the fourth year, it would be 4 times. So we're just going to multiply this times 4. 4 times 6 is going to be 24. 4 times 3 is going to be 12, plus 2 is going to be 14, and because it is negative, it will be a negative 144. Okay? That is our lesson. See you in the morning.